The last video for this week, but I'm saving the best till last because I'm going to be inviting a very special guest who is going to share his story on what it's like living with epilepsy. But I'm not going to be the person in charge of the collab today because I'm going to leave it all down to Aidan. Now, Aidan is a very good friend of mine, and we haven't seen each other since we graduated from Chicken Shed. And that was about 6-7 years ago now. Blimey, where did it all go? So this is the first time that we actually have met each other, not just online, but seen each other for the past 6 to 7 years. And I thought that since Aidan has been a massive support, because he was one of the first people to know about my diagnosis after I was diagnosed with epilepsy, and he's been such a constant support really throughout thick and thin. So I thought it would be only fair to share his story on what it's like living with epilepsy in a male point of view. And I won't say anything too much more because I'm going to hand everything over down to Aidan now, and without further ado, here is Aidan. I am joined by the amazing Aidan. So Aidan, hello.
Hello there.
Are you doing good?
Yeah, good, thanks.
Me and Aidan had a little bit of a chat before we started, but I know we were talking about like transport and technology, of all the exciting stuff. But yeah, like I said before, we haven't really introduced you yet. So Aidan, would you like to introduce yourself?
Okay, I'm Aidan. I was born with epilepsy. 27 years I've gone through it. So I've kind of learnt how to find how to handle life. I'm not able to. It's like I'm not able to drive. How else can I get to places? Cab, public transport, lifts from other people. So like. What's the word? Do have independence. So that I do have independence, but it's in a different way. So it's not been left out.
It's always definitely good to know with like loads of different things as well, because I know there are loads of people with epilepsy who would feel like that. But I'm going to be actually letting you take over for a little bit, Aidan, because I know you have a lot to say about epilepsy, because I feel that you really wanted to talk about it. And I know before we started recording, you wanted to talk about like the things that have happened to you. So if you want me to like help you in anything at any time, I'm just on here to stand by. And yeah.
Some of the things that happened, I can't. I don't always know exactly what happened, obviously because it's seizures. So don't always know what's been on. So I've just been told like vaguely, so I can only like imagine in the head. But yeah, one of the biggest things has been, I'm sure we've all gone, well not all, but most people with epilepsy at early stages has gone through, was like probably a road accident. Probably I went through that when I was 9. 9. I didn't tell you that when because
No, I've
then
never heard
because
about
we're at
this
chicken.
before.
Yeah, no, because we're at Chicken Shed then, and I didn't want anyone else to hear. Yeah, because I was 9. I was 9. Flashing lights, photosensitive.
Photosensitivity.
Word. That's it. It's when I was lights. I just like putting up lights outside my house, and then there's just like a small road. So I just like crossed over the road to like look at them, see how good they looked. Bad decision. Seizure. Flashing lights don't go together. More like epilepsy. Flashing lights don't go together. Seizure and a car, because it's a what's it called? That corner that you can't see. It's when you can't see around the corner of it. It's very
Oh, curb. Yeah, I think it's curb. Yeah.
it's like a where it's a sharp corner, so like the cars
Sure.
can't see around the corner.
Yeah, it's a curb. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I thought you meant the one on the curb. It's around the curb on a one-way street, and the cars were coming down the hill instead of going up. So yeah, so the car came down, and I just walked in front of it. So, uh,
Oh.
yeah, sounds a bit nasty. What I'm gonna say. So if you don't want to hear anything, but now's the time to put your fingers in your ears. Got hit by the car. Um, uh, when so hit by the went onto the curb, and then it was all brain injury.
Oh.
Epilepsy got worse then.
Oh. And that is that has affected you a lot since then?
Yeah, quite a bit. Yeah.
Oh. And was it the
Um,
first time you actually experienced or known about epilepsy then?
no, the doctors were still finding out about. Uh, I had been diagnosed uh, at 4 because it takes a long time to actually find out about seizures. The doctors were still um, finding out whether it was epilepsy or don't know what the other illnesses are because it takes some time to find out because this was an unusual it's an unusual diagnosis of epilepsy I've got. I'm not sure what the one it is because I think it's hard to say, but the epilepsy is all over the brain. It's not just in one place. It's not just a core of the brain. It's all over. It's all over the brain, spread out.
So it's kind of like when it's all over the brain, it's kind of like it's not just like the out walls of the brain, but it's in the brain cells as well.
Yeah, yeah. For most, well, I can't say for most because I don't know, but what I usually know is what I was first told is like if I had a diagram, I'd be able to say, but in the brain, there's it is down in somewhere like the core of an apple. That would be the epilepsy.
Yeah, I think I
Um,
know where you're coming from. That's a really good way to
yeah,
put it,
yeah,
actually.
yeah. Where the seeds are, those seeds, all that unedible bit, that would be the epilepsy. I think it's still growing on me, but just like the seeds in the middle, um, uh, those seeds in me, they're scattered all over my brain, so they're everywhere. Because when I was still in when I was in Sheffield Hospital up north, they went to see if I was eligible for brain surgery. But they found out that I do have a core, the main core, but it's too far in. Uh,
Oh,
so for normal people, the core is a bit further up, probably, or somewhere near the edge. Um, yeah, but the core for me is too deep down, and if they were to do it on me, it would be very risky to make me deaf and blind. I'd rather not. I wouldn't pretty. I I'd not rather like that. I wouldn't like that. I wouldn't like living in a dark world. That's quite the biggest uh, traumatic bit I've had in my life so far because it was December the 5th, and from then until uh, um, March, March the 15th. March 15th. I was in tumour all that time. No, not tumour, coma. Why did I say tumour? Coma all that time.
Oh my gosh.
Coma
Oh,
is the right thing.
so December, so that means you were in a coma for about 3 months?
Yeah, didn't even recognise Santa Claus.
Oh, really? Oh,
And that's so unusual for a child not to recognise Santa Claus.
my goodness. Well, and it must have been quite scary for your mum as well, because
Oh yes, yeah.
yeah.
Some of our friends, I'd gone to the uh, children's hospital. What's it called? Uh, Starts with O. Something Street.
Oh, Great Ormond.
Great Ormond Street.
Yeah.
I went to that hospital. I did, and some friends that have known us all through our family life, like 40 years probably. She was downstairs. She was, and she's saying to everybody in the waiting room, "I don't care what religion you are or if you're religious at all. There's a boy up there who who's who's near who's who's very near something. Her words are so strong they were. Uh, ah, there's a boy up there who's very ill. I want you to all pray for him now. She's very religious. She is.
Oh yeah,
Um,
because your mum's a you just said your mum was a
priest in
priest
charge.
now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this was a long time. She's now. This is a very long time ago. This was before she started training. She got everyone in the
Oh.
waiting room to pray, kneel down, and do all that. My mum and my sister had to go out of the room for me, but then when I'd gone back in, my hand started moving. I don't know what I don't know. I don't. I'm not like so. I'm not like saying like. I'm not like saying to everyone you need to be religious now and then, but I'm just like saying. I'm just saying things that have been said to me. Talking about that kind of talking. One day on Facebook, I was talking to someone. Her son had just had a VNS implanted, and he was stuttering. He was. I find I have that a little bit like I like repeat words or like find it hard to say a word. So then when I went to uh I do activities. I go to an activity. I'll probably say that later. When I went to some activities, I asked another of my friend. I asked him, "Do you ever find it hard to talk?" I have to be clear because um he has severe learning difficulties. So I meant by stuttering, but easy words. He said no. So it's kind of different for people, really. I did say because VNS is installed around left, but then the wire is installed right up here, right next to the the
Oh,
vocal.
yeah, vocal cords.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. So that may be one reason. I said to her that may be one reason, the possible reason why he's stuttering. And my one is on maximum power. So that's probably why I do it sometimes. My Venus is on maximum power, so that's probably why I do it sometimes. And also, I said to the lady, the body would be shocked to have something new and unusual in the body. Uh, so That's probably why it's going, whoa, what's this? Oh, what is this? So
I mean,
unusual.
it is unusual, really, but you can't blame the body, really,
No,
because it
no.
just happens.
Yeah, yeah. Hopefully the boys' body will get used to it soon. On the Facebook page, we all support each other a lot. We do.
Oh, that's really good. With some friends as well, because I'm going to jump into friends. Really, I know that was leading, but
Mm.
this is going to be like, this is something I really want to say because Aidan, I know that you actually gave me a lot of support really during our last year at Chicken Shed because
I like to support my friends. I do.
yeah,
Mm.
because when I found out I was diagnosed with epilepsy, I mean it took me like 4 months to actually tell everyone, and you're the second person I ever told I was epileptic. And I think I remember you saying to me that you had epilepsy too. And I felt like I wasn't alone anymore. And I think, to be honest, I've always been really grateful for your kindness, really, through that, really. And like, it is because it's always nice just to have like friends to support, really, especially after all things you've been like through, really.
Must never let epilepsy take over your life. I always say epilepsy warrior, and epilepsy warriors never get beaten by epilepsy. That's what I always say. I've been thinking of getting like an epilepsy tattoo done on my arm somewhere.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. I've been thinking whether the ribbon or something else that says epilepsy warrior, something like that.
Okay. I think with the other one, I think I know where you're coming from because from the other ones I heard, I either thought it was the brain or
The bray. What's the...
like the image tattoo of a brain for epilepsy awareness is something else.
Oh, I know the one. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, because I can't remember what it's from really, like what which charity, but yeah, there was definitely a lot of bits of them keep popping up on Google.
Yeah, I think the Bray one might be an American one because the ribbon one is the what's the English one called? Epilepsy Action.
Yeah, Epilepsy Action and Epilepsy Society are the two ones in
Yeah,
the UK.
yeah. There's two people over here that they do epilepsy here. They do. And, I support their charity.
Wonderful. What charity are they called?
Epilepsy here.
Epilepsy. I don't think I've heard of that before, but
Yeah,
that sounds
they,
really good.
they lead it. There's two people and they lead it themselves. I mean, like they're not like very famous. I mean, like they don't like lead it over the end. Well, they've got like a Facebook page, but like I mean, like they don't. Maybe a website, but like, I mean, like they don't mean like I don't mean like they don't like throw thousands and thousands of uh followers, and they don't boost posts. So
Well, they should be well recognised, really,
yeah,
especially if they've done so
yeah,
much for
I
the
definitely should.
community.
Yeah, I do think they should be doing that.
I mean, because it's also really important to raise the epilepsy awareness, especially since this is kind of like the thing, though, because epilepsy has always been like a topic that people didn't like to talk about really in that way.
Yeah.
Especially I found out with like boys, and I never knew why really, but I know that every time I thought about it, so far, like everything I've researched online, whether it's through campaigns or with people, most people I came across were girls when it came to epilepsy.
Mm.
And that's got me really interested to thinking that why boys don't talk about it a bit more.
Ever wants to talk to a boy about it, I'm here. um, yeah, I've, I am. Every time I go through a Facebook page, because earlier today, the Epilepsy Action did put a ad or a sponsored post on Facebook. They did. It was a sad post, but
Oh,
of a girl who died through a seizure.
Oh, I think I know which one you mean. Yeah, I think I came across that.
But I've never ever seen. No, never ever seen a one of a boy doing
Yeah.
ever
Now,
coming across it, or yeah, no, of any age, boy or man. And also on the Facebook pages, it's nearly all girls and women who post.
hmm.
Well, related to it's nearly all related to girls, really.
That's it, really, because although all the interviews I've done this week with everyone, because Aidan, you're the only boy I have interviewed for National Epilepsy Week. I really try to find to see um if there were boys who would talk about epilepsy on like social media. None.
Mm,
Like
mm,
apart from a few, but none.
mm. There's loads of boys back in my school that who have it. They do. One of my friends, I would suggest him, but he's just become he was politics obsessed, and he's now become um uh something in the area.
Okay.
I think something very important, that he do something in the community. He's been voted in. He's our age, and he's been voted in. It's not quite a town clerk, but it's like something as in a group of people.
Okay. So that's from the local parish again, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not here. It's up north in Lincolnshire. He has epilepsy too. I would recommend you interviewing him, but because what he's doing now, he's probably very busy. I haven't seen him posting on Facebook ever since he got his place.
Gosh. I mean, I can imagine though, that everything just like a little bit busy, really. But what's really fascinating is like people with like epilepsy, whether boys and girls, they all tend to like work in the like in the religion field. Yeah, I'll call it religion field. So like
Yeah,
churches and all of that. But this is absolutely incredible because I know with your mum, who's like a priest herself, you help with all the technology, especially during COVID. You've been doing like you said to me earlier,
live
all the
streaming. Yeah,
setups, yeah, live streaming and all of that,
yeah.
which I still think is absolutely incredible.
Thanks, thanks. At first, we when it was still very strong, we were the only church in the area who did live streamed a show, not show, service,
Ah,
a service that was just over a year ago. It was about Easter. It was Easter Day that we started last year, and we had to start in my own garden. So then started from there and did like did about a month there. Then we did some inside because it was much easier for me because I didn't know because I had to keep setting it up and taking it down outside. Whereas inside, I could just leave it all up. Then uh, after, when it came to about June time, I think the Archbishop gave us permission for uh, the vicar or priest to go in with one nominated person to the church to live stream, do a service online. That
and
was me and my mum.
yeah, so obviously your mum picked you really because
Yeah,
you're like into the technology.
yeah, yeah. So we did that. Took all the equipment into the church and yeah, did live streaming from there. That was even during the lockdown. still did it because the Archbishop gave permission. The other times were just inside, apart from to walk the dog. Then we started taking things very seriously after a few months of that, and started like cornering, well, closing off pews. So so like every opposite pew and this pew is stopped, is closed off. There's a good 2 meter gap for each other. People gradually started coming back, and when it was just me and my mum up there to begin with, I didn't have my internet stick then, so I had to rely on internet going off the phone, and it was and it was terrible. The internet kept cutting out.
Oh gosh, no.
Well, I mustn't be all sad because when Canterbury Cathedral started doing it, it was terrible for them as well.
I can
Yes.
imagine, really, because it's kind of like even if it's difficult times, really, it must be very hard to like get through it, or really, especially if because there are like many different reasons, and there are some people who believe church is an important part of life of them, and with COVID, all of that, it must have felt like they lost a part of that life.
Yeah, yeah. Lots of people are coming back now because I'm not having so many people watching, which is good. Actually, not many people watching. It means they're all coming back. So then there suddenly came the second lockdown.
Mm.
So everyone had to stop coming again.
And then it
So,
was repetitive with the third
yeah,
lockdown as well.
yeah. Anyway, it's working now.
Yeah.
Going well. I think probably Christmas Eve might be the best one. I think probably.
Also, that was during the third lockdown. You recorded the live stream for Christmas Eve.
In that case, no. Then it's when everyone's there. Um, anyway, still getting better.
Oh yeah, hopefully it'll stay that way. Fingers crossed. Since we've graduated from Chicken Shed, you've been doing a lot of stuff with your mum, like you said before, and then
Yeah.
you've done like lots of bits with technology. And I think it's fair to say, really, after all of that, doing like with the incident with the car crash, all the way up to now, you've had a very successful story. In a way.
Thanks. Yeah. I'll put it in order by like because the car crash was when I was 9, and they found out about the brain surgery when I was 15.
Oh.
Then that was a long time ago. Um,
Oh, was that the church parish?
no, no. My mum started training when we moved up north, and that was when I was 11.
Oh, okay.
So she started training up there. Takes a lot of training. It's a little like training to be a doctor because there's a lot of things to learn, but not
Mm.
quite as serious. They said it's like they said on the news once. You can't just hire new people to be doctors. It goes through 10 years of training. That's what my sister did. She's the doctor.
Oh, that's brilliant though,
Yeah.
because your siblings have like very interesting like backgrounds. Because you said to me earlier that your brother is a teacher at a prison, studying what was
Philosophy, science.
philosophy and science. That's it. And then with your sister being a doctor as well, it sounds like in your family you've got like whole different branches, and
Yeah.
that's all coming together for support.
Yeah. My other brother, I've got 2 brothers and 2 sisters. My other brother, oh, what does he do? Can't remember really. He's been changing about a lot. It's always something. I think it's always something in the politics area. I think. Oh, at first he worked in an advisor in the Labour Party. Can't remember who for. But then when, but then that person went. Uh, He before he was doing the PhD on something else. Don't follow everything he does. Uh, I only find out when he says it's best only to find out when they say I've always been nosy on something as big as job like his. But now he's back on his PhD where he's getting paid.
Oh, good.
Yeah, and my other sister has started up a business. She has for families, no, for children who are struggling with parents who have divorced.
Oh, wow. So it's like supporting single mums and the children. Oh, that's
Yeah,
brilliant,
as single
Aidan.
mums and single dads, like depends who they've gone with, or they don't know where to go.
That's absolutely
Yeah.
amazing.
Mm.
Oh, brilliant. And it sounds like you got like a really good like network, really. And I suppose with like all the wonderful things that your family does, it's made like a stronger connection with the family support. And do your brothers and sisters ever give you a hand at all if there's in doubt there was a medical emergency or if something happened?
With Fana, she's the doctor. She uh she's the secondary number. Like my mum was at work. I've got two numbers. I've got a like ID card. It's not with me at the moment, but there's like two numbers on there. There's my mum's number, home number, and we found this number. So she's the secondary number for emergency contact.
No.
So, if no one knows what to do, then she's the one to contact if my mum can't be reached.
That's always like really important though. It's just like have like a little bit of backups really in case there's any like emergencies to go into because anything can happen really at time because with seizures they're so unexpected and
Yeah.
you just feel like you just have to act fast really and with your sister being the doctor that's really lucky because she can actually like get into training quite quickly and then your mum as well.
Yeah, it takes a long time to train to be a doctor, but once you've passed it and got it all done, it's really worth it.
Mm,
Mm.
it definitely sounds that. And then we'll probably wrap it up with one more question, just because I know we've got like lots to chat about, but I know that you wanted to like oh what's the word to put this? Kind of like conclude the interview with anything. What advice would you give to everyone who is struggling through with epilepsy, families, or something like that? Well, yeah, let's stick with families.
Families, you always have your own independence. Always remember that. Even if you can't, it's always maybe a different kind of independence. Like like if you can't drive, I can't drive, so I rely on my mum to drive me or public transport, and I can't go alone, so I might go with my friends or my carer. There's always a different way if you can't do it the normal way. There's always a different way you can do it. Flashy things about. If there's flashy things about, I heard that there's some glasses that can be got. I've heard about. I've heard they might be a source of coming. They're being child, I think,
Yes,
or it might
because
be something else. Yeah,
yeah, because I think Elton John has one like that because he's got epilepsy as well.
yeah. Yes, so there's always positive things. So epilepsy cannot stop your life. So, because I've heard people on Facebook saying terrible things that feel like suicide. They must never feel suicide. Keep the S word out of your mind. Never think
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And then also just there's loads of people on like social media just to say don't feel sorry and don't be ashamed to have
Yeah,
epilepsy
yeah.
because
Never apologize for having a seizure.
that's it. That's the one. Because
Yeah.
I keep seeing that a lot on Instagram recently, and it's always nice to feel like you're not alone.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
especially like in whatever circumstances would be, even in difficult times, it's
Yeah.
kind of like we're in this together, really.
Yeah,
If it doesn't matter what background you come from, if you have one thing in common, like epilepsy, you're in this together.
definitely. It's all a tunnel, and there's always a light at the end. So it's got our own tunnel. Other people have got their own tunnels that is different, and we've got our tunnel that is different. It's got ups and downs, and there's got ups and downs, and we can go through it no matter how rocky it is. As rocks will fall, and we'll go through it.
Well, Aidan, that's been really lovely, and thank you so much for coming on, really. And we had like a wonderful catch up just right now, and then way before as well. And there were so many things I didn't really know about you like before, but I just really want to say you're such a great friend, and you've definitely helped me through like really dark times as well. And you're just a massive inspiration to everybody, really. And we're just so thankful to have people like you in our lives, really, Aidan.
Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure talking to you as well.
Oh,
And we'll have to catch up with again soon with Nick.
oh yeah,
Well, yeah,
definitely. Yeah.
yeah.
So Nick, if you're watching, hello, and we'll definitely have to catch up soon at some point. Then definitely, and then hopefully when COVID's over, we'll probably might have to like catch up for like a meal or something. But yeah, yeah,
Talking
actually,
about catching up, have you ever thought about going to Legoland? Have you ever been?
Legoland.
Have you
Mm,
been? Do you like going there? Have you been there?
I haven't been since I was 10.
Did you like it?
I don't really remember it too much, but
Okay.
yeah. Ada, what's your face? You know the Facebook group you told
Uh,
me earlier. What was it called?
it's called St Saviour's Church. I'll just put the link in the chat box now.
Okay, so for anyone who's watching back, I'll leave the link in the description box down below as well. So if you want to have a look, please feel free to do so.
Okay.
But it sounds absolutely incredible. I will definitely have to check it out, really. And once you send me the link, Aidan,
Yeah.
it's like really good. But then
Yeah.
so with everyone else as well, I know a massive thank you to Aidan for like being like here today, but and also for like it's wonderful to catch up as well. And I know I cannot speak today, but I also want to say a massive thank you to everybody who's been throughout with me all this week as well for National Epilepsy Week, all my guests, all you wonderful friends and family out there. I mean, yeah, like you guys have been a massive inspiration. And yeah, here's to National Epilepsy Awareness, well, National Epilepsy Week for 2022. I hope you take care of yourselves, everybody. Take care. Bye.